I know y'all in here waiting to hear from the unimaginable Bop, y'all. We're gonna play this music until we get him in the box. Bop, if you here, please take the box. Come and get some clout. We love you too, Angel. Thank you so much for doing the show. We really enjoyed the energy.
I got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for Bob to take the box. Miss B, you are not in the exclusive interview right now. I cannot let you in the box. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome unimaginable Bob to the stage, y'all. Welcome, 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 welcome. What's going on, Bob?
Fresh, fresh. What's going on, Queen? How you feeling, Donna? What's
I'm
going
feeling
on?
good. I'm feeling good. How you feeling is the question.
Hello,
I'm
hello.
I'm feeling great, man. I'm peaceful. Shout out to what you doing. You know what I'm saying? I was just watching a very, very interesting interview with the Queen Angel, man. Blessings to her. It's just interesting, man, to see how, you will never know certain things about certain people without certain things like this even taking place. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her transparency. And just her making it through and clearly growing through a lot of the things that she's experienced and been through. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. And I'm sure there's some people in here who was listening to what she said that she helped, and that's what it's about.
Facts.
Everybody doing what they can to help each other, or be an example for the next person. So shout out to that.
Facts.
But yeah,
So,
I'm peaceful.
so Bob, tell us a little bit. Let's start off with you telling us a little bit about what brought you to the app. How did Bob get on this website?
Um, I'm gonna be honest, like, POF, man. Shout out to POF and everything, they've done and are doing. Uh Man, POF been around a long time. So, I had the app for years. And honestly, I never really like utilized the app. I would just go on it and just literally just look at different profiles. I never really talked to nobody, never used it. I just would get on it, different places I would be, just look at profiles. Um, and one day I was sitting in my house. I was actually when I first started streaming, I was on house arrest fighting a gun case in Chicago. And I clicked on the app and I saw a new button on it, and shit, that's how it kind of started for the live for me. I was going into different streams, of course, seeing all these beautiful women. I'm clicking on streams, and I thought my phone was glitching because, like, every stream I would go in, I would start gifting, complimenting the women, and next thing you know, like, I'm damn near in another stream. So I'm like, man, I thought it was like my phone was glitching or something, but I grew to find out that I was getting kicked. So I was like, damn. And after I realized what was going on, I kind of got like frustrated with it. And one day I went live, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying?
So can you tell us, can you share a story about one stream you went in? What did you say that allowed you to get kicked?
The crazy thing is, it was like I think when I first started streaming, people thought I was catfish with my picture. So it was like I wouldn't be saying nothing. I would literally just go on the streams like, hey Queen, how you doing, pretty lady? And you know what I'm saying? Like ask little questions or whatever about the app, like trying to understand how it worked, the same way everybody do when they first get on the app. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? 8 or 9 times out of 10 be a nigga in the box and he'll get the popping shit to me like, man, who is this fake ass nigga? Man, this ain't even no real profile because I didn't have no favorites. I didn't have nothing. I didn't know nothing about it.
Right.
And then I would figure out the whole. I realized what the how to gift. I would start gifting and shit. I end up in another stream. It's just how it would go. Like I wasn't, I'm chill. I don't be no too aggressive or nothing like that. I don't come
Yeah.
that way. So
So when you hit that button, what happened? What happened on your first stream that made you say, "Oh, I'm gonna keep on hitting this button"?
I'm gonna be honest. Like my first stream, it wasn't like something happened in it that made me. I'm gonna say this. It was the end of the stream. Like when I was about to get off. Um, Everybody who was in the stream was like, "You're gonna get back on, you're gonna get back on." My first Everybody kept asking me, like, "How long you been doing this?" And I'm like, "This is my first day. Like I never did this before in my life. Before I started streaming, I wasn't even like a social media person. Like I hardly had a presence in social media because I hardly post pictures. My life was very different before the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I like, but yeah, it was like, the people literally like were asking, like, "Man, you gonna get back on tomorrow?" And shit, I just, every night for the first like week that I was doing it, that would be a thing. Like they would damn near be like every night begging me to get back on the next day. And people kept saying, like, "Man, it's your first day, you doing great. You should keep doing it." And it was like that was just motivating, you know what I'm saying? And the embrace that I received from the people, like it was crazy from the start, you know what I'm saying? Like just it was, man, just a genuine embrace, and it was just interesting to me to see what was happening, and and it was so much to learn. Like it was all, this was mind blowing to me when I saw it. Like, damn, this is crazy, and I didn't understand none of it. So by the time I began to understand it, it was like, man, I was already like a few million in, and which was it all happened real fast for me, man.
Right. Right. So take us back. Who is Bob? Where did Bob grow up at? What was the household dynamics?
um, man, I'm Bob. Bob stands for billionaires on paper. But I grew up in Chicago. I was raised with my mother and two of my siblings, my sister, my older sister, and my younger brother. My father was murdered when I was young, when I was 6. So, you know, of course, that always presents a different dynamic, especially for a young black man in the United States, let alone in a city like Chicago.
Oh, he's breaking up. Is he breaking up for y'all too? Did he freeze for y'all? I'm just making sure that's not just me. All right. Give him some time to come back in, guys. Dang. Soon as it start getting good, y'all. Soon as it start getting good, he gonna have to rewind that. Give him some time to get back in the room, y'all. Okay, just a few moments. If you're just walking in here, welcome to exclusive interview. Right now, we are giving an exclusive interview to Unimaginable Bop, y'all. Okay, I know him as Bop, and then he changed the name to Unimaginable Bop. And we're going to find out why in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back. I think you started glitching out. So if you could just bring it back a little bit to when you said um, BOP stands for Billionaires on Paper.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob stands for billionaires on paper. As I was stating, I um I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, with my mother, my older sister, and younger brother in the household. My father was murdered when I was young, when I was 6. So I grew up without my father. Um, I don't remember what else I said after that, but yeah, like, it was it was real to say the least. You know what I mean? A single black mother. You know what I'm saying?
Were you
I'm
a child?
Say that again.
Were you the only child?
Nah, like I said, I grew up in a house with my siblings, my older brother, my older sister, and younger brother.
Okay, you
I'm my mother's middle child, her oldest son.
got you, got you, got you, got. How did your mom take it when your dad was murdered?
You know, she uh she was hurt by it, but they weren't together when that happened. They weren't together since before I was born.
Okay.
So
Do
yeah.
do you know what was the cause of that?
Uh, considering the fact my father died when I was so young, and me being a man that understands there's two sides to every story, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. For what I do know, it's not nothing that I would speak about because it's one sided, of course.
Got you.
Respect to both of my parents.
Got you. So so now you in a house with your two siblings, okay? Yeah, it's just your mom raising you. How was it for your
Facts.
mom to raise the three of you guys by herself?
I mean, man, we all, to my understanding, the majority of the people here is in America. So that in itself, you could be by an individual by yourself in America. You know what I mean? Without the proper support system and proper know-how, that can be extremely extraneous job. Maintaining in this country. So for a single black mother with three children, of course, it was hard. She was always gone, always working, things
Mhm.
of that nature.
And where was she
So
working?
she had all kind of jobs. My mother, she a woman who, shout out to my mother. She a woman who, never really practiced limits to a certain extent. Like, because I feel like when it comes to certain people, them coming from certain eras, it's like with those eras all came, with each one of those eras came caps. You know what I'm saying? Like, in certain regards. So it was like, you had hustlers and grinders in every era, you know what I'm saying, no matter
Right.
what caps came with it. But at the same time, it's like it was almost like within the restraints of what could exist in that time type stuff. So just saying that to say, like, my mother, she worked different jobs. I managed all kind of spots throughout Chicago, different places, restaurants, hardware stores, all types of stuff. But yeah.
Got you. So, eh, you being young, being in school, think back as far as you can remember. When you were in school, did you feel like you had or like the things that the other kids had? Did you feel like there was some things that you wanted that you couldn't get?
No, for sure. For sure. I definitely experienced that as a child, seeing other children with all kind of things that I desired to have, and it just wasn't an option, so to speak. So yeah,
What
I
was some
definitely experienced
things
that.
that you wanted to have that you didn't have?
I mean, as a child, man, in this country, like, it's going to promote and push different things to you. So it's like all of the things that was being pushed at that time, whether it was a Jordan or Penny Hardaway. It was so many different shoes. Grant Hill,
Hmm.
all kind of stuff. Like whatever was being promoted and pushed at that time as popular. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's like the same thing that was going on then is going on now. It's just at a
Right.
grander level. You know what I mean? And it's repetitiveness. You know what I'm saying? And so just saying that to say without overemphasizing some shit that I ain't never made a dollar off of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how it go. Like, man, they promote certain things to us, especially as children, and it's like they make us think that this what it is to be cool, or to be accepted, so to speak. And
But was there
so
something,
whatever that was.
and think back when you was a kid, was there something in particular that you really wanted but you couldn't get?
You saying like materialistic wise?
Yeah, it could be materialistic wise. It could be a person that, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, me being young and losing my father at such a young age, but even though I was as young as I was, I understood what I lost, oddly
Mhm.
enough. Um, Not to the magnitude that I grew to understand, but I understood at that young age. Shit, that's what I wanted. My father, you know what I'm
Got,
saying?
got you. So now you in elementary. I want you to bring yourself back to elementary. Who was Bop in elementary school? What was the kind of thing? What was
Mm.
happening in school? How was your grade? When I say that, I mean like how was your grades? How was your personality? Who was Bob?
Um, man, I was a wild little knucklehead, man. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was off into some things. You said what grade though?
Elementary school. So anywhere from like first kindergarten to
I
fifth
like
grade.
like like elementary, like right, like fourth and third grade,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Man, I was just, a child, man, and I always was the type of child who wanted to know everything. Like I wanted to understand how everything worked. Understanding always been something to me, yeah, since I was a child. So I was one of those children who always had questions. Like I asked a whole lot of questions, especially at that time, you
Mm.
know. But yeah, and I'm speaking back to like fourth grade. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, and I had just kind of moved, like my mother had moved into like a certain area, where it was like we was living in the city for, up until that grade, and then the she moved into the south suburbs of Chicago,
Mm.
and it was like very different from the city, you know what I'm saying? Especially at that time. Now, not so much. Like, the south suburbs, damn, they're just as crazy as the city. But yeah, she had moved out there, and so it was like a culture shock, a difference. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it was
know
just something I had to grow to learn for a
I
little while because I actually ended up
spoke about
moving back
that
to Chicago.
you put a smile on your face. Is it safe to say you was happy that she did that move?
Say that again.
I said I noticed when you said when she moved, you put a smile on your face. So
Um,
were you
you
happy?
said was I happy, right, that she did that move? I can't say that I was happy that she did that move because, of course, even at that young age, like I had, friends and things like that in the city, you know what I'm saying, where we lived. And I didn't want to move, you know what I mean? I smiled though because it was like that was the beginning of like a strange little era in my life to where it was like I was again still exploring so much, but at the same time began to just experience and see children and my peers differently than I had ever seen them because of what I was experiencing per them.
What
And
were
it was just, a growing experience. Hmm?
what were some of the things you were experiencing?
What I'm speaking to in regards to that is more like, sixth grade, that era or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, but just of course at that age I was getting more off into girls, and you know what I mean. With that, um, of course, came a lot of hate from the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, little riff raff, nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Were you getting into fights?
No, for sure. For sure. For sure. Like no question, I used to have to fight like man, 5 or 6 dudes every day after school, and like I said, I didn't grow up with my father, so my mother one of the things that she would always tell me was like, never to run from anything or anyone, and
Right.
I always had a real big heart, you know what I mean? And that can be a heart that is used to, embody and console, or that could be a heart that's used to protect at the most extreme measures possible. You know what I'm saying? I have a really, really big heart, and I always been that way. So,
So
I never really like lived with fear of, the things that, traditionally people feel.
got you. Can you story with us about and we want like the details on like one of the fights, one of your most memorable fight that happened. How did it start and how did it end?
Um, One of the most memorable fights from that time is the last fight that I had with him. It was so crazy. One of the guys that I used to fight with every day after school, we damn near had every class together. You know what I'm saying? And so it was times where we had gotten to it throughout, because this happened, man, every day after school, literally for like for like probably like a year. I'm fighting like 5 or 7 dudes every day, every day. You know what I mean? And coming from Chicago. it's like, you know, at a young age you understand like, man, don't tell, you know what I'm saying? No, like no telling, you know what I'm saying? Like that'll get you into some shit, you know what I'm saying? So uh it was like, you know, it wasn't nothing to really kind of stop it from going on, you know what I mean? It was just like something that was happening. So, you know, it wasn't like something had to happen for it to take place, but you know, traditionally I get out of school, it's up. Um and this particular day I got out and I'm walking. One of the dudes pushed my book bag. When he pushed my book bag, I turned around, dropped my book bag, you know, like, you know, let's get it. I know what's going on. This is what we doing. So as we was about to start fighting, the dude who got the classes with me that's with these dudes though, he was like, man, why every day we fighting him? Like, you know, why every day we on this with him? Like he not scared of us, like he not no bitch was the, you know, the term used.
Yeah.
Like why are we doing this? You know, this don't make sense. So he like, man, leave him alone. And you know, they all out there like, man, you know, fuck him, woo, woo, this, that, and the third. Like, man, you know, this, that, and like just hating for no reason. And he stood on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, nah, like we ain't doing this no more. You know what I'm saying? And he like, it got to a point where he told them like, man, all right, well, if y'all fighting him, y'all gotta fight me too. And when
Mm.
he did that, another one of them that was like with them all of the time said the same thing. Like, if any one of y'all think y'all gonna touch fool, the person who said he was gonna be with me, he like, man, y'all gonna fight me too. And that was the end of it. Like I never got into no fights with none of them no more. You know what I'm saying? So it
Did you
was the most memorable fight was the day that I didn't have to fight anymore. So
and it lit? What did you and that guy become friends after that?
actually, man, he's my brother to this day, man. Shout out to him. He actually got a major fight coming up this month in March, a professional MMA fight. So yeah, shout out to my brother, man. He got a clothing line, Kush Junkie. Y'all tap in with that all over Instagram. But yeah, he my brother to this day, to say the
Not
least.
a professional fighter.
You know
That
what I'm saying?
I had to read that comment because
Yeah.
I was thinking that in
Yeah,
my head. I'm
he recently this is actually gonna be his first professional fight. He always we when we was younger, like man, we was after that, of course, he became like my we had every class. When we were young, like we were in the garage ordering and buying, you know, training bags and all of
like,
that type of stuff. Like, you know, it was different. You know what I'm saying? And he always been into that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So after he, you know, hit a few bumps in the road in his life, you know, was dealing with some things, and once he got home, uh, man, he been, you know, on his business, man, handling things, and he about to have his first professional fight, man. Shout out to my brother.
so so tell us more about relationship. We're
Um,
to junior, the middle school era now. Your middle school crush. Did you have a middle school crush? Was you were you flirting back then? Were you
It's so
was girl?
crazy that you asked that, right? The middle school crush I had, right? I did have one, and the middle school crush I had, um, whole time, like my homie who I was just talking about, my brother, he liked the girl, and it was like at that particular time he was real, like he was a super choosy kind of dude. Like he, you know, nah, I don't like her. You know, he was just like that. So
Mhm.
when he told me that he really liked her, I'm like, well, you know, I ain't gonna, you know, get at her. And he ended up messing with her, you know. Time progressed, a whole lot of things went on. You know, she was like one of the first famous Instagram models and all types of stuff, like one of them Instagram model girls. Like she
Mhm.
was one of the first ones that went crazy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fendi Red, man. But yeah, yeah,
So that
though,
was
so,
your first crush, but your boy liked her, so you never went and
yeah,
hollered at her.
nah, nah, I ain't
And
never get
then
at
they
her.
wound up
They,
dating for a little bit, and then it didn't work out.
yeah, you know how that, yeah, fake
Mhm.
relationship shit, yeah,
So
kids.
when was your
Appreciate the
first,
love, man.
Tell us about your first girlfriend. How old were you when you had your first girlfriend, like official girlfriend? How did that happen?
Uh, my first official girlfriend. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was probably in like sixth grade. And it was this girl at the school who was just like super crazy about me. Like, and she kind of like, she kind of like made me feel like I was in a relationship with her before I ever even really started talking to her. Just how she would act about me, and we ended up getting cool because she didn't live too far from me, and it was like one day it was some girls like on some bullshit with her, and I just told them like, nah, that's over with. And we just ended up getting cool and close. So she ended up being my girlfriend for a while. And
So
and
what was she saying that let you know like, all right, she digging the kid?
and all types of shit. Fresh, them little girls, we was kids, man, they'll say anything, you know what I'm saying? Cry, tears, all types of shit, It was like, anything, man. You
What
know what
was
I'm
it in
saying?
particular that made you take her serious and like, yeah, I'ma fuck with her? It had to be
I'm gonna
something
be honest.
out
I'm,
about.
I'm gonna be honest. It what made me because I really being honest. I didn't really like her. Like I didn't like girls that was my age when I was young. I liked older girls. Like I felt like all of the girls my age stink. Like they ain't really know. You know what I'm saying? How to like take care of that. So it was like I really wasn't into that. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't like her, but what made me kind of grow to like her, like I said, is just the me getting to know her more. You know what I'm saying? Even at that young age, like I always had an intriguement for like the mind, and you know what I mean, like just people of substance, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And to this very day, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a woman now, of course, of substance, and extremely smart, very intelligent, like little lady. You know what I'm saying? Even back then. So once I got to know her more and got closer, like with her family and all of that, it was like that's what kind of made me like, okay, cool, because she just wasn't letting it go no ways, and anytime she seen me talking to another girl, she just used to break down, like freak out, even though like I didn't have nothing going on with this girl.
Right.
It's crazy, but
How
yeah.
much of that did you take? How long did the relationship last?
Um, you know, you know how it go as kids, man. That shit really don't be too much of nothing, man. It was like an on and off thing, and then I just got tired of it because, of course, I grew up fast. You know what I'm saying, to say the least, and I wasn't with it. You know what I mean? And we were still cool for a long time.
But what was the final
Still
straw?
close with our family, huh?
What was the final straw that made you say, nah, we just gonna be friends, or I can't
I
mess with
don't
you?
remember. It was something about another girl or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember, but I was just like, yeah, it's over with.
How was your grades in middle school?
My grades was cool. I was always like bored with school, like every level of it, man. I just, like I said, I always wanted to know things to a different magnitude. So, like, ever since I was young, I always like start trying to figure things out, understand things to a different magnitude. So, like, I would be really bored with school, so I would do just enough to make sure I was passing, honestly. Like, I wasn't intrigued with it. Like, it didn't excite me in no kind of way. The most exciting part about school for me was girls.
Got you. Did you have a lot of them?
Uh, for whatever that looked like as a child, yeah, I had
Yeah.
a lot of girls.
What age were you when your virginity was taken?
um, I don't remember, man. I don't remember. I was young. Like, I remember the first time, shit, uh, I don't remember, man. I don't remember.
It looked like for a moment there, it looked like you was thinking of the moment. And you like,
No,
nah,
I
I
just,
don't
I
know
just was
about it.
about to say, like, I remember the first time I got head, and I was like young as hell, and it was by a grown woman, so it was, some bullshit wasn't supposed to be going on type shit, like
Right.
so.
Well, how old were you
But
then
yeah,
when you got
I
head?
was, I was 7.
You was 7 when you got head?
Yeah, I was 7.
We're listening.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was some bullshit wasn't supposed to be going on. This is a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? She was on some. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like, yeah, I remember it, and it felt good, and it was, and I
Was
just
it
that was
multiple
that.
times that she gave you head, or was it like that one?
Being honest, I don't remember because I was so young. I just remember that one time. You know what I mean? I don't remember though if it was or not.
And was that the first time? That one time was the first time?
That's the only time I can remember. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just
How,
remember it.
do you remember how you felt after?
Um, I don't know. It's so crazy. I don't remember feeling like it wasn't supposed to happen or something. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like, okay,
Was it like a
so
baby?
that's something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the fuck was going on for real.
Somebody-
Huh?
Was it somebody you was attracted to? And
Um, at that age, like I really didn't know what attraction was. You know what I'm saying? Like my little worm had, it'd get it'd get hard at that age, but I didn't know what was even making it happen type stuff. So it's like, I remember at that age I really wasn't, I don't know, like I wasn't like thinking about that type of stuff. So I don't know. Like it wasn't like I can't say that I was attracted to her or I wasn't. Like I said, I know when it happened to me, it didn't feel like it was something that wasn't supposed to happen. So
right.
it was just something that happened in my
But
mind,
when you got
at
of
that time.
right to know, like what
Say
was
that again.
when you got of age to know and think back, right? What was some
hmm
thoughts that came on your mind about that situation that occurred?
Like it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. Shit. Like that happened.
Right. So now Bop is going into high school, man. You in high school now. Like yeah, I know it's a different school for you. Everything you was getting into a lot of fights when you was you had to fight all your life. You literally had to fight. It sounded like you was
Nah,
fighting
facts.
every day until that moment your boy stepped in and was like, "Nah, man, leave him alone. Y'all gonna fight. You gonna fight me." He stood up for you. They no longer was bothering you anymore. Now you're getting older. You're in high school. What was your mentality then when you got into high school?
Um, Man, by the time I got into high school, like I said, I grew up fast, so I was into all kind of things fresh. You know, I by that age I was in, like dug in to the streets. So when I went into high school, I actually when I went to high school, I was supposed to okay, before I went to high school, I got kicked out of like the school that I was in my middle school or
What,
junior high. I got kicked out of my junior high, you know what I'm saying? And when I when it
why,
came time for me to have the meeting for me to say that again,
why'd you get kicked out?
um I had whooped this dude real bad in front of the school. Like I got into a fight and it got crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was all out where the buses was and it just, you know what I'm saying? I had basically got into a bad fight and they put me out. Um, and at the time when I was going to the alternative school, I ended up catching a case as a juvenile. And
Mhm.
I was put into like the juvenile detention center. And when I was supposed to have a meeting to go to my high school, I didn't have a meeting because I was locked up. So when I got out and went to register for high school, I was trying to go to the regular high school, but I couldn't. So they made me go to alternative high school.
Mm.
And at that school, it was just a different environment. These was like the bad kids from all over that was.
Right. He froze, y'all. I might kick him out. If you are just walking in, welcome to exclusive interview with Role Model Fresh and Donna Cooks. Okay, currently, right now, we are interviewing the unimaginable Bop, y'all. Just give him a few seconds. He'll be right back in the box to continue his story. Okay, stand by. Welcome back, Bobby.
Um,
So you was telling us like how you got kicked out of the how you got kicked out of your junior high school.
yeah, so yeah, I got when it came time for my meeting, I had a meeting for me to go to the regular high school or whatever. I couldn't. So when I got, when I went to the alternative high school, like I said, it was a different environment. And man, like I said, I was already kind of into some different things, as a youth. So, that I ended up, going there my freshman year, and like I ended up catching like six cases at the school, through different scenarios, fights. I got caught with weed. Um, it was just a lot. And the last thing that happened was I ended up whooping the dean at the school, and they locked me up. And when I got out, I just told my mother, like, yeah, mom, I'm not going back to that school. It's over with. I'm not gonna like allow myself to go to jail because of the games that the school is playing with me. So I just kind of, had a real conversation with my mother, and my life kind of began to get different. But yeah, I didn't go back. It was over with.
So the dean, this was at your middle school.
No, this was at my high school.
Oh yeah.
This is my sophomore. This is the like end of my sophomore year in high school.
Is it safe to say, and this is at the alternative school, or was this before the alternative school?
No, this was at the alternative school.
Mm, got
Yeah,
you.
this was at the alternative school.
What made you have to put hands on the dean?
Man, it was so crazy. He always was like just a dickhead, you know what I'm saying? He was always on some bullshit, and trying to act like he, was so tough or whatever. So I walked into school and I had my earrings in, and it was this lady who he used to always kind of flirt with, who was right there at the metal detectors as I'm coming through. And she like, why do you have those earrings in? Take those earrings out. So I'm like, okay. So I just get to taking the earrings out. So she like, I'm taking the earrings out, and he walked up over there because he saw her talking to me. He walks up and he was like, what's the problem? And she was like, he always comes in the building with his earrings, and he like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm tired of this guy. I'll take care of it. So he like, come with me, grab my earrings. So I'm like, he like, give me earrings, and I'm like, man, what I'm giving you my earrings for?
Right,
Um, and he like, because you're not supposed to have them on in the building. I'm like, okay, well, I took them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm not giving you my earrings, because he trying to push the issue for me to give him my earrings. Like, I took my earrings out, I put them in my pocket. Like, I'm not giving you my earrings. So he was like, all right, fine, come with me. So we walking down the hallway, and as we walking, like, I'm walking along the lockers, like to the right of me is the lockers, and he right next to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking, and as I'm walking, he like bumps into me, and bumped me into the locker. So when he bumped me into the locker, I look at him like, like, man, maybe I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say nothing. I get back to walking. The man bumps me again. So when he bumps me that time, I tell his ass like, hey, don't bump me no more. And as I continue to walk, he bumped me again. And when he bumped me the last time, I just jumped off the locker and creased his ass. And it went up. I just got on his ass. The police end up, because it was a police who worked in the school. The police that worked at school was one of my mentors, real good dude. He actually came and got me up off of him. Like, it was all in my head. Like, why the fuck would you just do that? Like, you tripping and ooh. But yeah, so that's how that went. Like, dude was on something with me. It wasn't like I was on some BS. And that's why I kind of had to tell my mother, like, I can't go back to that school. You know what I mean? I'm not about to let them ruin my life.
right.
So,
So, so when the officer got you off of him, did he then take you all to a different officer and where they arrested you?
yeah, they arrested me. They locked me up. My mother's husband, at the time, they were just together. He came and got me out. Him and one of his homies, they came and picked me up from the jail. And that was that.
So when you got out, and how long were you locked up for that?
No, just a couple hours because I was still a juvenile.
Got
So
you, got you,
they
got
couldn't, it was more so like just processing type shit and waiting on them to come pick me up. They couldn't lock me up for real like that.
right. So now you're out of school. So you didn't even finish. Did you not finish the alternative school?
No, I didn't. I dropped out at that particular time.
Got you. What after dropping out and being home, what did you then begin to get into?
Um, man, just like I said, at that particular time, I was already into the streets, so I just got more involved. Things got,
When you say into the streets,
bigger.
describe what your into the streets look like.
To say the least, I was a hustler. I was young, selling a lot of dope.
Mm. What made you want to go that route?
Just seeing my mother struggle, you know what I mean, and not wanting to put more pressure on her. Like I said, I understood a lot of things in this life early in my life. I'm an extremely blessed person, man. All praise to the Most High. And a lot of things are revealed to me, and it's been that way since I was young. So, like, like I said, I understood things differently, like, and to a different magnitude. So, when it came to, me seeing my mother and witnessing the struggles and stuff that she went through, it was like it got to a point early in my life where I wasn't even comfortable asking my mother for things because I knew it hurted her because of what she couldn't do. So it was like, you know what I'm saying, versus me asking her for things, I more so like began to just do what I could, even at that young age, to, begin to have things for myself, create a space to where I could acquire what I desired as well as, do what I can to help her. You know what I'm saying? And of course, in the beginning, it didn't start out that way but
Mm.
as time progressed and I got deeper involved and began to make more money, things kind of changed. So.
Got you. Hustling. What was the most money you seen from hustling?
Um, to say the least, as at a young age, I reached some pinnacles of success in hustling. You know what I'm saying? When talking about dollars and notes and nothing like that.
What what got you off the street? What incident took place that made you change your life around?
uh, I'm gonna say like when I was 19, I was sentenced to 8 years in prison, and it was on a drug case. I got caught with a lot of cocaine. It's a class X felony.
Take it
They gave
back. You
me
said when you was 19. I'm sorry, it took me all the way out. When you was 19, that was the last part I
yeah.
heard.
When I was 19, they gave me 8 years, and in the penitentiary, and like you know that of course like slowed my life down dramatically. Like, you know what I'm saying, it really put my life to a halt. So, and it was on a drug case. I got caught with a significant amount of cocaine, um and I was only supposed to do like uh 3.5 years off of the 8, do it like how the time was set up or whatever. And when I went in there, I was young and wild, so it was like, and I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't think when I went to the penitentiary, I didn't think that I was gonna ever come home. I thought I was gonna end up either somebody killing me in there or me having to kill somebody in there and never, see the streets again. So it was like, my mentality was a bit different going in there, and I got into a lot of shit. So I was losing time, and so I ended up doing like almost 5 years off of the 8. And
Mm.
like that slowed me down, to say the least. Like when I went in there, I was still a child. I thought I understood so much because of me growing up so fast and experiencing so much so fast. But when you forced to be in solitude and quietness with yourself, like it it created space where you had no choice but to reflect. And when I began to reflect, I just realized like how much of what I thought I wasn't. The things that I thought I knew, they were way deeper. Like I just started understanding life to a different magnitude. Essentially, I grew to a man, you know. So of course, when I came home, like life was real different. You know what I mean? And that's when like my first month home is when I got my first baby mama pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's how that went.
So so you spent 5 years and you were locked up, and you said when you got home things was different. Can you tell us about some of those things that you noticed was like completely different for you?
Um, what I was speaking to when I said, things was different was just as far as the mentality that I was moving through life with, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to, exercise different things and do things differently, in my life. And um, like I said, since I was young, like all I did, up until that time when I went to the penitentiary was sell dope. So it was like, that was what I knew, you know. And
What did you do when you got home? Did you find a job?
the crazy thing is, it was man, believe it or not, it was crazy. Like the whole job thing when I came home, for like 10 years straight. Uh, Man, I was denied for every job I applied to. You would have thought I went to prison on a sex case or something. How these people was turning me down for jobs because, like, literally nowhere will hire me. Spite my qualifications, all of these things, like, because it was a gap in those times, but I ended up getting my GED. I went to college. I got a culinary arts degree. My I lack like two requirements for an associate's degree. I'm certified in auto mechanics. Like, I acquired things, and despite my qualifications, like, jobs denied me for years straight. So to say the least, I wasn't at a place in my life where I was afforded the luxury of not doing whatever I had to do to survive. So, for a long time, that was still some things that I involved myself with. The jobs that I was able to work, though, was based off of like the people who I knew, because again, because I had reached certain levels of success in the streets as far as hustling. When I came home, I knew a lot of people who owned things, and they knew the mind that I had and how I was, so they were willing to give me opportunities. But because of what my life had been and how I knew money to come and go, it was like I just never been the type to just be up under anybody, or you know what I mean. So yeah, each instance would only last so long. No bad blood, of course, amongst none of it, but it's just like I always been a person who others depended on, to say the least.
Got you. So after doing those 5 years, was that the last time you got in trouble, or did you get into trouble with the law again?
Being honest with you, Fresh, I at the end of 2022, I beat the case that I was on house arrest for. I beat the case that I was on house arrest for, and no, the beginning of 2023, I beat the case that I was on house arrest for, and
Hmm.
I ended up catching another case not too long after that I ended up beating, and man, this is the first time out my life since a juvenile that I'm even able to go get my passport and do some things. And with that said, like, I got some major plans this year for Africa, and purchasing some land and doing some major work, you know what I'm saying? And just correlating the people who we got here in Africa, and just doing what I can to make things make sense on a whole nother level. So with that being one of my focuses and goals, and understanding how restricting my life has been because of them keeping their claws in my back. It's like, I'm doing what I can to, man, stay out the way, and you know what I mean? Just progress. Like, cause like I said, I really got things that I got to do. You know what I mean? Um, I care, to say the least.
What and everything you said, what moment shaped you to who you are today?
Man, it's not. it's not it's not a moment that shaped me to who I am today. You know what I'm saying? It's a collective. And like, you know, the will for me to want to learn from the shit that I've been through. Like we all go through things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's why sometimes when people talk about different things that they go through, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got some people who can emotionally connect with them instantly. You know what I'm saying? You got some it take a little more time. You got some who gonna be like, okay, we all go through things. What do that mean? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And that's a fact. We all do go through things, but you know, all of us don't learn from the things that we go through. You know, and I tell people like more important than any of the stories that I done told y'all in this interview alone, like, you know what I'm saying, is what I learned from them. Like that's where the emphasis need to be put essentially. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I learned from these things for however that can be articulated. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a this or that. It's a collective of things that, you know, brought me to be the man that I am today. And you know, like people be like, you know, when if they could go back to this age or that age or stay stuck at an age, and I never been one to really think that way. Like, you know what I mean? I'm grateful for everything that I've experienced, even the things that weren't pleasurable to me, because I learned and grew from it all. You know what I'm saying? It equipped me with an understanding that now I'm able to add to my children and create a space for them to be able to protect themselves from some shit nobody created a space for me to protect myself from. So, you know, spite what I had to go through, me understanding my responsibility to not just my children but this world, like I'm grateful for it all, because a lot of people could go through the same thing that I could go through and not make it. You know what I'm saying? Check
Right.
themselves out. So it's a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just do what I can to count each day as such. For real, for real.
Got you, got you, got you. Now I'm gonna have you go back to the moment when you was released. You come out. How did you and her meet, hook up? Did y'all know each other from the past? We want the deeds on.
um Yeah, I came home. My homie, he came, slid on me to take me out, and we had went out to this little spot, and you know, it was her, a few of her people, her sister, and it was it was so crazy. Like, I was actually on a sister. My homie, one of my homies who was real close to me, this nigga literally like begged me, like, bro, please, please, let me talk to the sister, let me talk to the sister. So I'm like, whatever, bro, go ahead. And I ended up talking to who eventually became my oldest child's mother. And you know, man, it was, you know, shit, what was, I guess, to be expected. You know what I'm saying? I was fresh home, you know, reserved, you know, looking a lot, you know, cleaner and healthier than a lot of the what was out here. You know what I'm saying? So, and me doing all of that time, you know, man, we started getting at it like jackrabbits, and surprise, surprise. You know what I'm saying? So
Did you
that's
eventually
that.
like make her your girl, or y'all just was like,
Yeah. Yeah, once she got pregnant, like not too long after that, like we kind of made it official, so to speak.
mhm.
Um, and you know, tried to do the whole relationship thing, but you know, I just grew to, because I didn't really know her when she got pregnant by me. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, it was like that with kind of each one of my children's mother. Like I grew to know them. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like I knew them at that time in my life. So yeah,
And you said each one. How many do you have?
three.
Three.
Yes,
So
three.
boys, girls.
I got two girls and a boy. My oldest is a girl. My middle child is a boy, and my youngest is a little girl.
Got you, got you, got you. How do you feel about your kids?
Oh man, they my everything. Like it ain't. I don't think it's a feeling that can describe what 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 happens just in, you know, getting in thought about them. Like, you know what I mean? They everything, man. Like I was just saying the other day on my stream, like, you know, there's nothing in this world more delicate than a child's understanding. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing more important in this world than an understanding, because that's the only thing that overcomes all things in this world. You know what I'm saying? The elevation of understanding, you know. So it's like, you know, man, they are everything. You know what I mean? Like, and it's our responsibility to all of them, man, because they all deserve it, no matter who brought them into this world, no matter, you know what I'm saying? It's not a child in this world that don't deserve every opportunity that the world could offer to them, and a path to be laid down for them to know how to go after it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not no, they are everything, man. You know what I'm saying? And that goes beyond my children. Like, I love children, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like they the future for real. Like, that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us really, I feel like, don't acknowledge that to the magnitude that we need to. And I know that's a fact because we can clearly see how many of us are consumed with self. And it's too many children. Like, they damn near desensitizing us to the death of children. You know what I'm saying? Every day in this country. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like, man, we failing them, you know what I'm saying, in a major way. And, you know, I can see that. So of course I have a responsibility to it.
If you could teach your kids one thing, or if they could learn one thing from you, what would it be?
Um,
The
the
main
one thing, man, the one thing that I would want every person in this world to learn from me, which is what real love is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very different from.
Give them a second, guys. It done took him out again. Jesus, fix it. Y'all, give it a moment. He'll be right back in the box. Okay, we you know, POF is working through some things right now. I hope they get it together real soon, but give it a second, guys. We'll have BOP Bop back in the box. You was explaining
But
what the whole world to, to learn is love.
nah, yeah, like I was saying, like, you know, when you to the question that you asked, like, I would want my children to understand the same thing that I would want the rest of this world to understand, which is, you know, the true definition of love, and how much of the love that we've all been taught is tainted. You know what I mean? And very confusing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, love is the elevation of understanding. Like I was just saying a second ago, like, understanding is the only thing in this life that overcomes all things. You know what I'm saying? Like, understanding is the greatest thing that Fresh could give me, I could give Fresh, or we could give to a child. You know, like, again, love overcome all things. The only thing overcoming all things in this life is a greater understanding. You know what I'm saying? So again, if I could help them understand anything, it would be that, because that's what they trick us into believing, that we're unable to add to ourselves, or we have to find outside of ourselves, when the greatest elevation of understanding that you're going to experience is going to come from within. Like, a person might not know what love is and might have just heard me say it and understand that, and they're like, damn, I could understand that. But even in you understanding it now, is something even deeper there. Like, it's something even greater there for you, because it's a constant evolvement in love, man. Love doesn't love transcends. Love is damn near one of the only things in this life that transcends. And it's because it's a constant evolvement. It's because love is the elevation of understanding. A lot of people say love is blinding. Love not blinding. Love is going to present the clearest clarity you ever seen. It's gonna make you see things like you never seen it, but you have to understand love for what it is. When we talking about the tainted love that we've all been taught, when we talking about the love that we'll so closely associate our feelings and emotions to, yes, it's gonna blind us. Yes, it's gonna have us confused. Yes, it's gonna fuck us up. I tell people all of the time, like, love and emotions is like oil and water. When you combine the two, that's they don't mix. When you combine the two, that's when all of the confusion always comes. You know,
Mm.
you have to understand and respect the difference. And when it comes to your emotions and feelings, like, everything in this life damn near comes with an emotion or feeling. You know what I'm saying? So just understand, you have to allow yourself the time to process those feelings and be honest with yourself about them, so you're able to process them. You know what I'm saying? But understand that it's a big difference between love and emotions and feelings, like, that don't They don't go together like how people try to make it. You know what I'm saying? And if you can understand that, you gonna add longevity not just to your life, but any communication and relationship that you have, because it roots it now. Now it's rooted in something that is unshakable. Like this can't be like, because when you're talking about facts, like, which is what real love is based off of, it's it can always be traced back every
Right.
step of the way, damn near. Boom, boom, boom to the root. You get what I'm saying? So, man, that's all we gotta do, man. We just gotta reroot ourselves in love. You know what I'm saying? And in doing so, man, it's gonna heal a nation. I believe that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? But we living in a time where bigger and more important than a nation is, you know what I'm saying, us understanding the times that we're in, and doing what we can again to reserve life, because it doesn't seem to be a mass reserve for life. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they checking us out left and right, and we cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
like it's okay. It's
La-
not at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to exclusive interview. We are wrapping up our interview with Bop. If you have any questions, please begin to prepare your questions or line up in the box. I will be answering those questions in the box first. So if you do have questions, now is the time to take the box. Bop, we spoke about love. Can you tell us about a time where you ever had your heart broken?
Well, I had my heart broken. Um, I had my heart broken. I don't, I don't, I don't. Nah, like the closest I've come to heartbreak, and that was like until I, kind of had to get myself together and check myself, was like when I lost my grandma. I lost my grandma during the time that I was fighting that case when I was streaming. I lost my grandmother during streaming, like you did as well. Fresh, rest in peace to our grandmothers.
X.
That was like the closest I had come to heartbreak, but again, that was only until I kind of caught myself and just, had to reroute myself and remind myself what certain things is. Those feelings, man, are extremely overwhelming. You know what I mean? And if you don't consciously exercise control, which translates to processing your feelings, then, man, they can send you into states of depression. They can make you crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, he and she is held accountable to what they know. You know what I'm saying? And I just understand and know certain things. So that's what I move according to.
Got you. What is the plans for Bop in the near future?
As I was stating, I'm getting things situated as far as this passport. And man, like I'm really on this, man, move to Africa. Like, I really need to go see what's going on, tap into the land, see where I'm gonna be able to, do what I intend to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's my focus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I got things in between me and that I'm focused on and working on, but that's my thing for this year. And anybody, man, want to tap in with that, definitely tune into my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Follow me there. I will be posting different things about, people being able to support that in any way they desire. It's gonna be major though. A lot of opportunity for the people. Anybody who know me, man, know I'm about the people and the greater good of them. So just saying that to say, like, I don't believe in scenarios or situations only working for me. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to this streaming shit, like I'm a person who, quiet is kept. Some people will speak on it, a lot of people won't. But you know what I mean, man, it ain't too many greats in this at this time currently, you know what I'm saying, that ain't learned a lot from me. You know what I'm saying? And just saying that to say, like, I always been that person that's about the elevation and growth of the people. So of course it only gets greater. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm on this thing with Africa, it's gonna be really big. Yeah.
That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Bop. If you have any questions now, you can now start to line up in the box and ask your questions, or you can ask it in the comments. Okay?
I do want to say this though, man. Can everybody do me a favor, man, and on all streaming platforms. My niece, man, she just released her very first EP, and it's an amazing project, man. She really did her thing. I'm unimaginably proud of her. It's A.N.E. is the artist, her name.
And it's what?
A.N is A.N.E.
Is
And
it
the name of the album is Love Story. Say that again.
is it on YouTube?
I don't think it's on YouTube. She just released it on all like mainstream music platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, please check her out, man. If you like the album, please share it, man. You know, we definitely want to push her. This is her first time ever releasing music. She's amazing, man. And I'm not just saying this because she's my niece. She has so much versatility. She writes her own music, all of that. So tap in. Kicking is crazy though. Facts. Big facts. Shout out to everybody in here, man. I really appreciate y'all supporting me throughout the show.
He said it's on major
All of y'all, man.
platforms. I didn't find it. A dot N
Yeah,
dot.
A dot N dot E dot Love Story. Yeah, that's the name of the album. It's not no pictures of her on the album. It's just Love Story. I'm gonna share it on my Instagram too today. So, and then she just released it yesterday. So yeah, y'all, we definitely want to push her to the top, man. She's unimaginably deserving of it. Extremely talented young lady. I found it on Spotify. Thanks.
Okay, I found it. All right, I found it.
Thanks.
All right, so any questions from the audience? Any questions?
Well, I was told to stay away from my bonded third possession questions. So.
Not questions. The actions.
I'm not gonna do
Okay.
none of that.
All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions from the audience? I believe Donna has a question for you.
I tried to follow you on IG and it says page isn't available. Um, Unimaginable bot. As soon as you type in unimaginable, start typing it, you're gonna see my emojis pop up.
No.
Oh, I have a question. So, Rose told me that she always knew you as Bop, right? So, what
Mm-hmm.
what prompted you to change it to unmanageable Bop?
Well, originally, my original name in this platform was Bob Boy CEO, and because of like the success that I achieved extremely fast in this platform, like a lot of people began to not just learn and elevate from the things that I was doing, but I had a lot of people mimicking the things that I was doing. Like all of a sudden, it started being a lot of people putting CEO in their name. People started wearing chains that had CEO on it, and all of that different type of stuff. So every time that I would do something, whether it was through my streaming or with my name, it was like always people to come behind me and mimic it. And I never really been one to like kind of align myself with the others, like
Right.
to that regard. So um, my name changed a few times. For a minute, I was being better Bop. Um, it changed a few times, like people were doing it to such a magnitude. For a minute, I had to change my name to No Inbox Bop because they was like in people's inboxes begging for diamonds, duplicating my profile. It was crazy, but yeah though. So the unimaginable that essentially came like down the line, and it came from just like, man, recognition that I was receiving from other people. You know what I mean? And it just clicked for me one day. And for the longest, that had been my name on Instagram too. So then I just finally made it that on the app, and it's the one that just stuck with me. Like when my Instagram kind of blew up, it was under that name. So I just was like, I'm just unimaginable Bob everywhere.
Gotcha.
How Bougie Arlene asks, how did you meet your other baby mamas?
How did I meet them? Uh, traditional settings, not nothing too crazy. Like, I'm not a person like I go out and do things, but it's more so like when I do that, it really be when I'm in other places. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm home, it's like I'm with my family or I'm on business, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm streaming. Uh and so just saying that to say like most of the people that be around me it be kind of through people who I know type, that type of setting. So yeah, but it wasn't no like I don't, it ain't no love story to it. If
Ooh,
that's what you was looking for.
another question. She said, can I be your fourth baby mama?"
Nah, we ain't doing no more baby mamas. We ain't doing no more of those.
Okay, no more
No
baby.
more baby mamas. Nah,
What
no
is the
more baby
best piece
mamas.
of advice you ever gotten, Bob? Go for X.
You said what is the best
Best piece of
piece
advice
of advice you've
got.
ever gotten, Bob? Um, that's kind of hard to say the best piece of advice, but one of the most powerful pieces of advice that I've received is, you know, a very wealthy person. I know they were asked, what's one of their, um, what's their key to success, and his response was like, what's the key to his success? And he was like, one of our keys to success, because I'm not the only successful person and there's more than one key to success. He said, is, man, I had to become a lot better at managing my distractions, and I received that in a major way, because when you really understand life and what it's about, it's like anything that's not a part of the focus is nothing more than a distraction, whether it's a person, place, or thing. So that's a very powerful piece of advice that I apply to my life every day. You know what I mean? But it's hard to say what's the like most powerful, because I listen, man, and I pay attention. Sometimes I pull advice from things that wasn't even meant to be advice. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say what's the most powerful.
I'm sorry, it knocked me out again. I missed the answer to that question. There was a few other questions. Somebody said, "Would you ever want to get married?"
I'm gonna be honest, like marriage in America really don't mean shit to me, man. Like, if the woman I'm with, if that really means something to her, that's something she desires, I have no problem with that. But it's like, I'm gonna be honest, like we had this conversation often in my stream, like I haven't came across anybody yet to tell me the value in being married in this country. Like, it's like, everything here is exploited. So because it's exploited, it forces you to kind of handle it differently and look at things differently, and it robs you and that person's space. This is my personal opinion. It robs you and that person's space of the genuineness that needs to exist for y'all to kind of last forever. So, without people understanding certain things, it's like, it's almost like setting yourself up for failure, and I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? And nor do I believe I need another man to stand before me and sanction anything that I decide for my life.
Mm. Another question I read before it exited me out. They said, "How do you go about dating on the app as a streamer?"
Uh, Shit, I don't. I don't date on the app. Being honest, like I never looked at these streaming platforms that way. And it was like me being on them for as long as I have, it kind of forces you to understand that to a different magnitude, because of different things that you're gonna receive, the type of energies that you receive, and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't date on the app.
Got you. So you've never, through your entire time, we don't need to know who it is because I know sometimes people like to keep it a secret unless you care to share. Have you ever, at any point in the time of being on the app, dated someone?
No, never.
Got you. CT girl asks, are you single now? I would think so.
Yes, I am. No, I mean I could, not be single just because I'm, on the app, like, and not dating on the app don't mean necessarily that I'm single, but yeah, I am single.
Have anyone wanted to date you from the app?
She said she would leave the app.
Um, uh, of course, like, I mean, and I'm gonna say when I'm in that, understand that I'm saying that to say, of course, there's been people to say that, but has anybody came and, like, you know what I'm saying, shown that to, the magnitude that, you know, um, I feel like just what I like my understanding requires, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I haven't received that. You know what I'm saying? That when that shows up into my life, I definitely know what to do with it. But a lot of females, of course, then said that, like, they want to be with me or fuck with me, or, you know. But it's hard to take that serious, especially in this setting.
Gopher asks, what advice would you give to all the struggling single parents?
Man, shout out to all of them because I know what that's like. I'm a single father. You know what I mean? I got full custody of my son. And you know, my advice is, make sure you loving yourself properly so you are able to give your child what they deserve, no matter who's a part of their life or who's not a part of their life. Because no matter how you feel about whatever that situation is, they still require what they require. You know what I mean? So don't allow your child to go without because you're lost in yourself or your feelings. You know what I'm saying about whatever is going on. Like, and hurt if you have to, cry if you have to. Align yourself with good people to help you grow and learn and evolve from these things the way we should. But don't allow your child to go without what they deserve, man.
All right. We're running a little bit out of time here. So, real quick, Bob, who are some of the streamers that you looked up to when you came in the game?
Some of the streamers that I looked up to when I came in. Um, hmm. Being honest, it was so crazy, man. Shout out to Charismatic, man. Shar, um, definitely a major, you know what I'm saying, friend and influence in my streaming. Um, but being honest, like the people who I could have, and like the people who I could have, and when I first came in, like, kind of looked at that way. Like, they showed me real fast, which I'm super grateful for. They showed me real fast, like, kind of who they were, and it was like they all just basically, like, kind of tried to, like, play me, like, exploit me, like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'll show you what to do, and really it was like they wanted to manipulate me and the situations that they saw flourishing. Like, it was a lot of people in this app that saw what I was about to be in it before I even saw it because I didn't understand the app and nobody would tell me. Like, the people I would try to talk to about it, they wouldn't tell me. But I will say this. I don't know if you know Joe. You know Joe, don't you?
Joe, who? There's a lot of
With the
Joe.
cup in his name. With the cup in his name. Joe been on the app a long time.
Okay.
But Joe, man, one of the guys, he from Chicago, real good dude. But he was one of the streams that I used to go in personally and just sit in his stream, and him and this other dude used to talk about the app. So when it came to me understanding different aspects of the app, a lot of it I learned from him. And it was just him streaming how he streamed, you know what I'm saying? And which to this day, still my brother, like somebody who close to me in the stream, no matter which platform I'm on, you know what I mean? But yeah, I learned a lot. Like, a lot of people, man, they were so weird about that, like helping others grow in this app. And that's what I feel like one of the things that excelled me to the magnitude that it did in the platforms as fast as it did, because that was like forbidden to do. It was forbidden to help another streamer grow. And that's what I came through doing, like really helping people grow, really helping people evolve on and off of the app. You know what I'm saying? And it created a different dynamic that existed for quite some time until certain things happened and people kind of jumped back into the rat race. But
Now, what streamers do you admire? Who's your favorite streamer on that?
my favorite streamer on the app,
If there's multiples, you can name them. But
um I'm gonna say this, you know what I'm saying, versus a favorite streamer. I'm gonna say, like, it's quite a few people I'm proud of, you know what I'm saying, like extremely proud of, you know what I mean. You know, and I name a few of those, and definitely, no shade to anybody that I don't name,
right.
but like, man, Fresh, it, You know, I know what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? How it started, all of that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm extremely proud of you. You know what I mean? Shit, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's just that whole list alone. It's like I could go down, and you know, it's not too many again streamers who at the top of this platform that I know I didn't influence in major ways. And to see all of y'all, we all are. You know what I'm saying? And even before, like when I left the app, and you know, a lot of things happened and changed. And when I came back and I saw the growth, like I was proud of everybody because again, like I'm always a person that been about the people, like in it, you know, wanting to genuinely see everybody do better. So it was like to see everybody doing better, and you know, it was like, man, I was extremely proud. You know what I'm saying? Of course, when you find out certain inner workings and different things like that, it can, you know, it can fluctuate that, you know what I mean, excitement about it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, again, to see people make it to where they are and continuously progressing and growing, staying down, staying with it, you know what I mean? That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, Fresh, for the things that I've achieved and accomplished in this app, I look at POF like it's one of my babies. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of the people who nurtured this app to where we are now in it. You know what I'm saying? On so many different levels. So it's like, you know, I'm glad to see people here doing their thing, enjoying and rocking how they rock.
Thank you. I want to thank you for sharing your story. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to share with us?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think you might have asked everything of, you know, everybody, the angel who went before me. Man, but shout out to all of y'all, man. Bob Snunny, Kaylee,
All right, knocked him out the box, but guys, he promoted his niche song earlier. This is the song right here. I do have one more question for him when he gets back in. I got one more question for you, Bob. Alright, my last question. This is his niche, y'all, so make sure you Shazam it right now if you don't know the song. Alright? My last question to you,
facts.
Bob, is how did opening up to us make you feel?
Um, Man, again, I'm proud of you, Fresh. You know what I'm saying? What you're doing. On this app, off of this app, you know what I'm saying? Like the elevation, and I'm gonna tell you, like I want you to know, like seeing you do different things is motivating. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of things, of course, that I should have been done. You know what I'm saying? As the streamer and person that I've been in the app, and I haven't. So to see you again, constantly progressing and growing and implementing the things that you should be implementing to your streaming, it's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? So man, yeah, that definitely shout out to you.
Got you. Yo, Bob, you know I love you. Listen, if y'all don't know, I tell everyone this, so I know everybody, all the models know, but Bob was definitely one of those people that I looked up to, and I always admired his strength until he left me, man. You left me. You left me. He went to the other side, and then it changed. You know what I'm saying? Dude, but now I love you, Bob. You are very encouraging and motivating and unimaginable, as your name states, you know. So y'all give it up for Bob, y'all. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Thank you so much, Bob, for doing the show. Hopefully we can catch him on acting out, right? I know y'all looking
Yikes.
forward to that.
That's a whole nother conversation right there, you know?
Go, let's go, let's go.
And
Listen, if you
Fresh, I
don't have
love
this
you
man
as well, man.
favorite him right now. Thank you so much. I do gotta get running before I kill Donna over here. She is dying, literally. I was drinking this tea. I'll be back.
It's something like an obsession. You
I
got me
gotta go to the
thinking of
bathroom,
when
y'all.
I'm
I've
on
been
my knees
holding
and I'm
it
hoping
in.
you feel it too.
Yo,
No,
Fresh,
Bob,
love
stay
you,
up.
baby. Blessings.
something you see. It's like you
Yo,
captured
Bob,
a
stay up. I'm
dream.
gonna let this song play out though, y'all. Hold me
And I
down.
can't.